enjoy KahNah, and welcome to the third of the three-part series on psychic burnout. And in this video, we are going to be talking about how to recover from psychic burnout in a sort of SOS situation, like how to recover when you're in an emergency situation because you're so burnt out, and then how to avoid psychic burnout in the long term. If you have not already watched videos 1 and 2, I recommend that you watch those if you want, and I will link them in the description below. You've realized that you've had psychic burnout. Maybe it's been for a long time and you just didn't even realize it, and now you are trying to recover. So let's say you're in an emergency situation and you realize you have psychic burnout, but like really soon you need to like use your psychic or spiritual energies again, so you only have a short time to recover. What should you do? Okay, so what you should do in those situations is you should go to a place where you can have privacy, where you can have time alone. Whatever that place is, you need a place for just you, whether it's your home, maybe it's your bedroom, even if it's like literally a closet or your car or whatever. You gotta go make a sanctuary. Make a sanctuary for yourself and close all the windows, close all the doors, turn off your phone or put it on airplane mode. You're not going to be talking to anyone. Sign out of all your social media. You're not going to be talking to anybody. You are not going to be talking to anybody, okay? Do not talk to anyone. Do not interact with anybody, especially people who normally take your psychic energies. Okay, so then what you're going to do is go to sleep. Like, if at all possible, or if you possibly can, you want to sleep and set the intention before you go to sleep that you will visit the place of healing in the higher realms and ask your guides and angels, as well as any other available angels who would like to assist you, to take you to that place in the higher realms and to also perform healing on you while you sleep. This does work. I am speaking from experience. The next thing that you're going to want to do if you're trying to really replenish your psychic energies really quickly is you're going to want to focus on nourishment. So there's foods that are dead, and then there's foods that have psychic energies, okay? And all of us know like what foods are dead. They all are coming in packages and refined foods, and they have had the psychic energy depleted from them. And they are sometimes very tasty, but they do not do anything to help us replenish our psychic energies, okay? So what you want to do during this time is you want to eat a whole bunch of foods that have psychic energies that you're going to need at that time. And so how do you know which foods you're going to need at that time? Well, you most likely, like if you are highly attuned, you will be able to feel it with your hands, or you'll see it, like you'll just feel what you need. But what I do is, like, if I have severe psychic burnout, I will sometimes make Zaire go to the store for me because it's depleting and there's a lot of psychic attack there. But anyway, like if I'm going myself, I will like go to like the produce section and stuff, and I will like feel the produce in my hands and like feel what has the energies that I want. But you want to eat like large amounts of like fruits and vegetables, and maybe like whole grains or grains that are super nourishing to you, but you want to eat foods that are alive. You want to eat foods that are that are going to help you to really quickly like replenish your nutrition and bring you back to your body. So especially like root vegetables can be really helpful, like things that grew in the ground and connected with the ground, like potatoes, for example, carrots, etc. Like root vegetables, cooking with them, that is going to be great. You want to get your nutrition really high. This would be also the time to like, you know, splurge on like a really nice green smoothie or green juice or stuff like that that has like a ton of nutrition, and you want to, before you eat the food, for as long as you have, even if you just have 1 day to recover, or if you have more than that, that'd be great. But like if you only have 1 day to recover, you want to like bless the food or ask for your food to be like blessed and infused with the highest level of spiritual energy that it can contain before you eat it, and ask and set the intention that your cells may absorb that energy from your food, and eat as much as you need to of fresh food, because you probably have nutritional deficiencies as well from having psychic burnout and ignoring your own needs for a long time. So yeah, eat the collard greens, eat the lentils, eat the beans, eat as much, ripe fruit and nice vegetables as you can. and cook them in a way that is going to help you to digest them if you need to. So you want to do that. And then you really, really seriously, like if you're trying to recover really quickly, don't interact with anyone, not even your twin flame, not even anyone. If you do interact with somebody, make sure it's somebody who's really really loves you, and somebody who's just gonna like hug you and ask nothing of you. They're just gonna like give you love energy. Okay. Or like your dog, or like some unconditionally loving being. Those are the only type that you would want to interact with, but even then, I don't know, you know, I'm not sure. Okay, and then like if this sort of came out of nowhere and you don't feel like you were really giving more than usual, then this would be a good time to research, to check to see if you are having an astrological transit of some kind that might be bringing you down, okay? Like, okay, maybe you're having a transit with Saturn or Pluto or something, and it's just brought you down. Because if you're like in a blaming space, if you're blaming yourself, then, you know, a lot of times it might be because you gave too much of your psychic energy, but you might also be having an astrological or numerological transit that wiped you out. So check for that. You know, if you're in an SOS moment, you want to check. Go sit next to a tree or get some sunlight. If you have to go really far to get to a nature spot, then don't go, because that's going to take too much of your energy. But like whatever the best sort of nature spot is near where you live, go there. Even if it's just opening your window and letting like light shine on your face, sunlight, do that, because nature loves to replenish us. So if you are like, tree, please help me to ground, they will be like, you're welcome. You know, like, here you go, you're welcome. Or for sunlight to replenish your energy field, that's the sun's job. Like, it's gonna do it, you know? Okay, don't use your psychic abilities at all, or your healing abilities at all. Don't use them at all. Don't use them at all, not even on yourself. Like, if you're trying to recover, you can ask that your guides or angels do healings for you or whatever you need, but you need to receive energies if you are psychically burned out. Spirit might test you, you know? You might have somebody say, but you're the only one that can help me, please, please, please. Say no, I cannot. I have psychic burnout and I'm trying to recover. The other thing that you want to do if you are trying to recover really quickly is you got to get re-inspired. You got to get spiritually inspired. You want to think about, write about whatever like first motivated you to want to be on this spiritual path in the first place. Whatever your true motive was, you want to re-motivate yourself intentionally. Like, set the intention to plug back into what brought you on this journey in the first place and what made you want to help and heal yourself and others and all of that, and plug back into that. And give yourself a hug, and yes, get some nice food in you and some rest and some sleep, and then go out in the world and use your magic again. Okay, if you are in an SOS moment. But if you are healing psychic burnout for the longer term, and you're like, I want to avoid this for the rest of my life or for as long as possible, then if you're taking the long-term approach, you still need time alone, but you might not need to like close all the curtains, you know, close all the doors and lock yourself in a dark room for 24 hours, right? But what you need to do is you need to make that process of having time alone a part of your routine. So maybe you don't need to do that for 48 hours because you're not, you know, on the verge of giving up on life, but like maybe you need to do that for an hour every single day, like really vigilantly, to have that time in just your own energy. Like those of us who are of a higher vibration than most, and those of us who are psychically sensitive, we uplift everywhere that we go all of the time, okay? And so that can be taxing. And so we need to spend time in our own energy to remember what our energy feels like. Like our own energy will heal us most of the time, right? Like if you are of a high vibration, your own energy will heal you and replenish you. But if you are constantly putting yourself around others who are not of like vibration, then you're gonna get, you're just gonna get a lot pulled out of you, okay? So if you're trying to heal psychic burnout in the long term, you need to build in time alone into your schedule, and you need to stick to it, like really stick to it no matter what people say. Oh, but please, just this once, can I come with you in your time alone? No, you can't, okay? You cannot. For people that are psychically sensitive or healers, they typically need a day, a week, completely by themselves. And if it's not possible, then a couple hours every day completely by themselves. And you need to tell people this is my time to myself. Okay, so the next thing you need to do to heal psychic burnout in the long term is you have to you need to take the people that constantly deplete you. Of the people that you help, there's probably like 80% of them are like completely normal, and then there's like the 20% that ask for way more than what is acceptable. The ones that email every single day, all 20 times a day or whatever. Okay. So you have to like make a list of like, who are these people that are giving me this psychic burnout, or what activities am I doing that constantly deplete me? And then you need to restructure, because you need to get rid of your psychic burnout. You got to restructure your life. If you're doing this professionally, you might have to tell people, I'm sorry, I can't work with you, anymore. If people constantly violate my boundaries and cause stress and take energy, you can tell when people are coming to you to take your energy versus like with a sincere need. I just block them from everything. And it's not that I don't love these people. Some of them I love and I see their light like so much, but the facts are the facts. Like if I always feel depleted after having an interaction with somebody, then I block them so they can't send me email, cannot send me Facebook or anything like that. And I just reevaluate that every couple of months. Like, okay, maybe I'm ready to give this person a chance again. I'll give them the ability to contact me or whatever. But you really have to eliminate the things that deplete you. And even sometimes those can be family members or things like that. But you can just tell people lovingly, like, yeah, I need a little time like to myself to replenish my energies. If a person actually loves or cares, whether it's a friend or a client or a family member, then they will understand that completely. And if they have a violent reaction, then they were probably energy vamping you, okay? Just saying. Just because you have an amazing spiritual ability doesn't mean that you need to help everybody or that you can help everybody. When I used to ignore my own needs a lot more, like for the first couple years of my business, my spirit guides kept drawing me over and over again. Like I saw this written out, I saw multiple YouTube videos, people told it to me, they kept drawing me over and over again to this message about Edgar Casey. And it was like that Edgar Casey got a warning from his spirit guides that he needed to keep his sessions to 2 per day, even if there was a huge demand, like that if he did more than 2 per day, it would start to impact him physically and he would die sooner. After like the 5th time of seeing that, I think I like literally screamed out, like to my spirit guides, like, are you kidding me? Like, how am I gonna do 2 per day, Because the demand that I had when I was just serving everyone was like for 10 to 15 per day. So, and I wasn't doing that much, but I was doing a lot. And I was like, are you kidding me? 2 per day? And I got so mad. But guess how many readings I do per day now? 2. Okay? So I'm just saying, like, you may have to seriously restructure what you're doing in order to not deplete yourself, depending on how much you're doing. Make sure that you get in touch with why you're doing the work in the first place. Like, what are you aiming for? Like, at the end of the day, the reason why I do this is because, first of all, true love is literally like the most beautiful and inspiring thing that exists in this world, okay? It's like to see people together who are really meant to be together and who are really in love, or to experience that yourself, it is the best thing that exists in this dimension. So obviously, of course, that is what I'm going to work on. But when I get uninspired, I just reconnect with like this journey and how wonderful and amazing like it was to meet Zaire for the first time. And I just think on the most beautiful moments together in our union, and the hard times as well, and how I overcame those, and I just get re-inspired. And if you do this work, if you're on a mission and you're doing this work all the time, you need to build that in, like somehow. Even if it's like a little note on your calendar the first of every month, like get back in touch with why I'm doing this in the first place. Yeah, I made this video like after just 4 months with Zaire, where I like put together all these pictures and stuff and like wrote about our journey. When I get really burnt out, I like watch that, because it reminds me of like how grateful I was for this journey and how grateful I am, and like how much I want other people to have the experience. And yeah, you got to do things like that. You got to like intentionally re-inspire yourself and focus on why you're doing this in the first place. I think sometimes we can take like this spiritual mission and try to fit it into the box of like another mission that we had that wasn't really the same. Like, you know, okay, before I was an accountant and I worked 9 hours a day, and so now I'm a shaman and I'm going to work 9 hours a day. It's not equatable, like on an energetic level. Like the amount of work that we output when we are healing or we are holding space for or we are reading people is astronomically more than what we would output as a banker, or just saying, no offense to bankers, but I'm just saying, or anything else. And if you want to heal psychic burnout in the long term, you have to take more time off than a typical person would. So when I'm being really, really good to myself, I will usually take off all day Saturday, like half the day Sunday, and then like a day in the middle of the week, like Wednesday. You have to tune into yourself and be honest with like, how much time do I really need to recover from the work that I'm doing? And the higher level at which you're doing that work, the more magic that you're bringing to the table, the more time you're going to need to recover your energies afterwards. It's crazy. Like you would never, like when you would do a spiritual service for someone, you're literally like performing magic basically. And Aladdin and the genie, he's like, you have 3 wishes. He's not like unlimited wishes. Like, no, like, because that's not a thing. Like, that's not how it works. So basically, you're going to want to think of either how can you build in the time that you need realistically to replenish your energies, or how can you show up in a way that's less intense? You know what I mean? Show up in a way that's less intense. Like maybe instead of like trying to transmute the energy for somebody in need and heal it within your own body, like maybe just listening is enough, you know? Like that person can have their own energies, but maybe you can just listen, you know? And then that's going to be better. So you want to think about practical ways that you can reduce the amount of energy that you are outputting. And you also need to figure out times when you're not going to use your psychic abilities. So I usually wake up pretty tuned in, like really tuned in. I stop using my psychic abilities at 8 p.m. Like 8 o'clock, it's like, okay, we're going to calm down. Like we're going to calm down like from this and just like ground. And sometimes I want to use them so bad. Like I want to use them so bad. Like people will be like, oh, what do you think? Like just like friends and family, oh, what do you think I should like text this person or stuff? And I just, every bit of me just wants to like just open up my whole like crown chakra and third eye and just like channel right through what they should send. But does anybody else have this? Like, but I just try to stick to it. Like, no, like I don't want to use my abilities after certain amounts of time, because if you're like a genuine psychic or healer, everyone will want you to help them all the time, which is like really understandable, but you can't do that. So you got to put in the boundaries of what times per day you work or stuff, or like you don't use your abilities at all on the weekend or whatever it is. If you have psychic burnout, you gotta surrender, like really surrender, like really deeply, and realize that you're not in charge, like, of the healing of the world, and that's a good thing, you know. Spirit is in charge, Spirit has a plan, Spirit will help those in need, and can work directly within people. They can help themselves, you know, everybody's magical, everybody can heal themselves. And sometimes you have to say no to people so they can find that healing within themselves. And when we have psychic burnout, a lot of times, like, we get disconnected from our heart, because our heart feeds our work field all the time. Like, when we're in our heart, it just constantly surrounds us with just loving, vibrant energy. Sometimes we end up going, like, out of our heart and into our head, and then we get really burnt out because we're disconnected from that feed of loving energy. So if you get psychic burnout a lot, reconnect to your heart chakra, reconnect to your heart center, and center your awareness within your heart, and that will help to replenish your energies. Also, you've got to learn to say no in a way that you feel comfortable with, and that needs to be a permanent change. You know, if you get psychic burnout a lot, is, you know, find a way that's authentic to you, but you've got to start saying no to people who want your energy, basically. If you have psychic burnout, I am sending you so much love. Take time for yourself. Treat yourself at least as good as you would treat anybody else that you're trying to help spiritually. In fact, treat yourself better than that, and plug back into the energy that heals you and replenishes you, and you will feel better. Like, you will feel better, and you will recover your energies, and you will get re-inspired once again. So never give up. Never give up on your spiritual path. If you get burnout, it's just a sign to give more love and care to yourself and to your personal connection with spirit, and you will bounce back. So yeah, I hope you guys have all enjoyed this video series on psychic burnout. It's been such a pleasure to bring this to all of you, and yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. So thank you again, and namaste. Bye.